Welcome to Choosing Adoption. I'm Donna Pope, and this podcast supports expectant parents considering adoption and birth parents after placement. Through real stories and guidance shared with clarity, faith, and compassion, we will connect you with others who offer their insights and experiences that will empower you and provide you support. We are here, and this is exciting. I'm going to have you just take a minute and start over with you. Say your name and your role in this group.
Hi, I'm Paul. I am the adoptive father.
I'm Cassie. I'm the adoptive mom. I'm Kaylee. I'm the birth mom.
I am Elijah. I'm the birth father.
And
This is baby Seth.
this is baby Seth. So let's start with you. Oh. Let's start with you. When you found out you were pregnant, what was your thoughts?
I was scared. I was terrified. I feel like I was in shock for like a really long time. Just because I didn't think I could get pregnant, because I've never had a pregnancy scare at all until this happened.
Really?
Yeah.
And so once you realized I'm pregnant, then what was your thought?
Yeah, they thought this was a topic for a really long time because the placenta was blocking it until about like 18 weeks is when I finally able to see him.
And so you didn't know for sure?
Yeah, I wasn't for sure for a really long time until like I got checked again.
And so then when the reality was for sure, then what did you think?
I almost passed out. I don't know. It's just like in a shock feeling because like I found out right at 18 weeks and yeah.
Then did you talk to Elijah?
Yeah. We kind of like always knew that we weren't ready for this, so.
And Elijah, I need you to sit forward so that he can hear you. And what were your thoughts?
I was scared. I didn't know what to do. For a while, we thought it was a topic, and we weren't really planning for him to like, make it in a way, you know. And so we didn't really plan too much. And then we had another what's it called?
Ultrasound?
Yeah, another ultrasound. And yeah, he was very healthy. Yeah.
So when did you begin to think maybe we should do an adoption?
After we found out he was healthy, I'd say.
Yeah, after we saw the ultrasound and that we saw his face and we realized we weren't ready, that's when we decided that, well, it took me some time to look into adoption, but then I looked into it and we knew that's what we wanted to do.
Did you ever consider an abortion?
I did in the first, but I didn't want to do it when I saw his face.
And how did you feel about that?
Same way. Like, yeah, couldn't do it after we saw the first ultrasound. It was just like you.
So you decided, I think we're going to do an adoption. What did you do next?
I just researched the adoption place a lot so I could see what kind of studies, like home studies you guys do. So I knew that he was going to be in a very safe place and that he was going to be in a loving home no matter what.
So it was real important to you to know that whatever family took him, they were a good family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so then what did you do?
Then we contacted the place and we just went from there.
And then you talked with Wendy or Michelle?
It was Michelle, yes.
Talked with Michelle?
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, this is the process. You have to fill out this paperwork.
Yeah, I filled out all the paperwork and then, we heard like how the process goes and we decided to move forward with the agency.
And so the most important thing in our minds is who do you pick as a family?
Yeah, that was the most important thing to me. I really wanted to like, when she explained like how deeply the study you guys do, it made me feel a lot better, like how like serious you guys take it, because I honestly don't think I would have been able to do it if it wasn't so like deeply thought through,
We were honestly so picky.
Yeah, we were.
You were really picky?
Yeah, we both were really picky about the parents.
So what were you looking for in a family?
I didn't want them to be judgmental at all, because obviously, this decision, everyone has their opinions, but I don't want the family to be judgmental, because then that means my baby would come, the baby would be judged a lot too. I wanted them to be very loving and, just that's what I mainly want to focus on. How they have a good relationship, how their like relationship dynamic works. I want to look into all of that kind of stuff.
And so Haley you would share that with Haley, and then she sent you some families.
Yeah.
And so when you saw these guys, what was your thought?
Paul is a lot like my boyfriend, so it really helped, that my baby would be raised with someone that is like my boyfriend. And I really liked in the beginning when they said that they'd make sure to know that my baby is still loved by me. That's what helped a lot, because I want my baby to know that I'm doing this out of love, not just because like, oh, I don't want no responsibilities or anything.
Do you want the perfect little wife?
Yeah. Say that again, Elijah.
We're doing this because we want him to have the perfect little life.
Yeah. You wanted this little boy to have the perfect little life. I said one time to somebody, and I was stunned that they didn't understand that. I said, I have never known biological or birth parents who didn't love their children.
Yeah.
They were stunned. And I said, what do you mean you're stunned? Of course they do.
Yeah.
So they would say, you love your child, but you're placing them for adoption. How would you respond to that?
I feel like the reason why I'm doing this is because I love him so much. Like, if I kept him, it would be out of like base emotion because he's so cute, and because I carried him for so long. But knowing in the long run that I couldn't support him the best financially or even mentally right now, it would make me feel like a failure, But it's not because I don't love him, that I don't feel any love for him. It's because I love him so much that I want him to have a family that can take care of him at all times.
So then the time came. It was time for him to be born. When did you guys meet?
I don't even know how long it was, but
on the phone it was on July 14th.
Yeah.
So we were on a trip for ourselves, and they wanted to talk to us, so we cleared our schedule to make sure we could talk to them.
And that conversation went good?
I would say it was a little awkward, but it was good.
Very awkward.
Yes, very awkward.
Why was it awkward?
Well, I feel like I'm just an awkward person, so that's probably a lot of it. And we just didn't know like exactly all the questions to ask until we thought we got off the phone. We're like, oh, we should ask this and this and this and this. Yeah.
Was it awkward for you guys?
Yes. We're less social people in general, more introverted. So having to talk on the phone to people we've never talked to before or seen before, that was what made it a little awkward, because we're like, okay, we don't know what to say right now, but I'm just gonna start talking and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
And then when you met in person, when did you meet in person?
When I was right after my C-section.
That was probably a mistake, but we started right after the C-section, right? And we're like, no, we should probably go wait upstairs.
But yeah.
So you didn't have a chance to meet before?
No, he wanted to come out very quickly.
So we did. And so tell us about the first time you went in and you saw them and you saw the baby.
It was surreal because we'd been trying for kids with various means for so long, and seeing Tim just was like, I had no words. I just couldn't help but just stare and smile at him the entire time. I was just sitting there smiling at him while he was in the little bassinet in the hospital room.
Yeah. Very surreal, disbelief. Like, this is really happening because this is the furthest we've ever gotten. Yeah, just very surreal. It still feels very surreal, I think, a little bit to some extent.
And Elijah, how did you feel when you first met the new adopted father?
I love Paul. Paul's my man. I love Paul. I love that we could have a fluid conversation and not feel like I'm talking to somebody, and I just felt like a nice conversation. It felt like very friendly. When we got home afterwards, me and Kylie, we want to develop a really nice friendship with you guys, Yeah. I love everything about you guys. Like, you guys are goals.
And how'd you feel, Kylie?
I think seeing how happy they were made it a lot easier for me. Like, it made me really happy to bring such a miracle into their lives.
Doesn't mean you're not sad.
No, I'm so very sad, but it makes me cope with it a lot better knowing how happy they are about it.
Seeing how happy I made Paul and Cassie, it makes me feel a little bit more content, you know?
Now, you were in the hospital for a while because you had a C-section.
Yeah.
So during that time, you were able to spend time with him?
Yeah, I did as much as I can. Like, when I was first came out of C-section, I couldn't hold him though because I was so tired. My body couldn't even hold my eyes open. But after that, I held him anytime I could.
And that was, you were in the hospital for how long?
4 days.
4 days?
Mhm.
And so all during that 4 days, you were able to hold them, spend time. Elijah, you were there?
Yeah.
All of it?
I was
Yeah.
there all of it.
All of it, okay.
Yeah.
Because it's not the most comfortable place to sleep.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but
It's okay though.
And so you were able to hold them and
Yeah.
spend a lot of time.
yeah.
I love seeing his little smile and hearing his giggle. It sounds like her giggles.
And then you waited until just before you left the hospital, before you signed any papers. Is that right?
Yeah.
And you wanted to do that because?
Waited, like I stayed another day. Oh, I just wanted more time with him, and so where I was like actually felt a little bit better, so I could spend like just more time.
And were you guys up there very much?
As much as we could be.
Yep.
We let them set the pace of when they wanted us to be there, when they wanted their time to themselves. So we were okay with getting as much time as we could, but if they wanted their own time to spend with each other and with the baby, that was really up to them. And up until basically just let them take as much time as they need.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. That must have been a bit nerve-wracking for you.
It was
very nerve-wracking. I also felt like really awkward sitting in there because she's just been through like a major surgery, and I feel like if it were me, I'd be like, can these people please just leave so I can get some sleep? And just like, and she was really like not feeling great, and I'm just like, I feel so bad.
Mhm.
Did you feel that way?
Oh no, I was completely fine with
Yeah.
it. Like, I slept perfectly fine, but it's just because I was so nauseous. It's probably why they feel so awkward.
We just didn't. We wanted to make sure that you could have some recovery time.
Yeah.
Just so
Yeah.
you weren't. I don't know if anybody's ever had the guest that just never goes away. We didn't want to be
Yeah.
that. We wanted to be
Yeah.
able to say, "Yep, you can kick us out whenever you want. We'll stay as long as you let us. But if
I
you
get
say
that.
7 p.m., you're out. We'll be
Yeah.
gone."
I kept asking when you guys were gonna come back.
Yeah, he was completely fine with it. I was fine with it too.
That's wonderful when there can be that ease.
Mhm.
You don't want to be overbearing, that you felt comfortable enough that you could have told them to leave if you needed to.
Yeah.
So that was great that you helped them feel that way. So now you go, okay, I'm ready to sign these papers relinquishing my rights. How was that?
It was really hard. There was definitely a moment where I thought, where I thought it didn't feel like, the totally right choice. But then,
You wanted to rip it up.
yeah, no, yeah, I did. But I know that would be based purely off emotion, not realistically. And I definitely knew I couldn't do that to them. Like, I couldn't just be like, okay, well, time to go home. I'm taking the baby, But that's why I signed the papers so fast, so I could, I didn't want to change my mind, and I didn't want to think pure off based off emotion.
How did you feel?
It was sad, it made me cry a lot that day. I'm not gonna lie, I still cry about it a lot. But I don't know. I feel content knowing that he's in the best place possible. He's with the best people I have found, the best people I would choose. I was very picky about it.
Yeah, it took a while.
No, that's good. And when you say it took a while, tell me about that.
We look at the profiles on your guys' page before, and he said no to pretty much everybody. And then when she sent,
one other person.
Yeah, no, and she sent, like, when Haley sent all those people, he said no to pretty much everybody except for them and, like, another person.
What about them? Did you go, maybe them?
Well, you guys don't look mean. You guys look very sweet. We love your guys' careers. We love the fact that you guys will be around him so much as he's growing. You know, we love you guys' personalities, everything about it. We love you guys.
Now that's really good. But it didn't take away the pain.
No, I don't think that anything really can, but I think that, like, knowing how loved he's going to be makes it better to cope with.
So, obviously you have a relationship here. Here you are sitting all together. What type of relationship do you anticipate coming in the future? Don't you guys answer. I'm going to let you guys answer first.
So I said this to Cassie. Elijah reminds me of like a younger brother. So that having him there, being like the uncle or whatever they see every once in a while that they can, as often as they can, so that we can share as much information as possible. I mean, we want to make them feel involved with it, so they can see his growth, see how he's doing, and just know that we're doing as best as we can and doing everything we can for him.
I kind of see it as like the friends that you pick up the phone and you text them and maybe even talk for a while, and it's like you've never, like you talked to them the day before or saw them the day before, where it's just very much a back and forth, and just, we can just kind of have this very easygoing relationship that just kind of is always very positive, and in the end maybe very, ends up being very close too.
Pretty much the same way she feels, just like hoping for a very close relationship, and seeing him grow in any way I possibly can.
I want a really close relationship. I want to like, not necessarily be there for every single memory, but like I want to see it, and I want them to tell me about it and tell how it made them feel. And like, I just want to be a part of it as much as possible and support them in any way I can. I want to be like the best uncle possible in a way,
Now, we all know, and it's the reality, that when they go home, they're going to get on with raising him and they're going to get back to their lives. And we all know that this good feeling that we have here will in part, spread away. That's why, of course, we've got you all signed up on Hearts Connect, and we say you guys need to make post, and you guys respond, and we kind of remind you to make sure that you do that. But as time goes on, even though kind of there's some separation, hopefully that it'll stay united, at least in that way. That's what you hope?
Yeah.
I hope that Hearts Connect is the only social media that I will use. I don't use any others.
You don't use any others.
No.
No, that's what we hope for. Now let's turn our attention to him. There he is. First of all, let's say the name.
Oh, Seth.
Seth Anthony Joseph.
And so how did you guys come to that name?
It was more like them events.
It was you guys kind of deciding? Who said, hey, how about Seth?
So Cassie and I had a list of dozens of names, and we kept crossing them off one at a time until we
the curse of working with children is you have these you sometimes have these associations with names, and as soon as you hear like a certain name, like there are a couple names that like I hear it and I'm like, oh, I really like that, and then all of a sudden I picture one of the kids from school and I'm just like, oh God, no. And that's all then I see, and on the only association I have. And I have friends who are teachers too, and they're like, yeah, we had the same thing. Or like, Jack was on our list, and I'm like, I like the name, but I don't want him to be like the 14th Jack in his class either.
And so Seth was one that you narrowed it down to.
Yep.
And you suggested it, and you liked it?
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it because my grandma told me it was a biblical name, and I always thought like I want to do with it. His names that like a name in the Bible, maybe have some curiosity for it. If he doesn't like Christianity, that's totally fine, whatever he likes. But be cool, you know?
So you came up with a name. What do you hope? Because I talk to a lot of adoptees, and sometimes they have some kind of hard feelings, and sometimes they have sort of some trauma and feelings. What do you hope he knows about you?
We're doing this out of love, and that we're going to be there to support him along the way, even though we're a whole bunch of miles away. We can always talk with him. We can always talk with Cassie and you and Paul. If you guys ever need help or just need someone to talk to or anything like that. Sure, you guys might be shy, but it's okay.
How do you feel?
The same way. I just want him to always know that I love him, and I did this out of pure love and nothing else.
So what do you hope for?
We hope that he knows that there are more parents that love him than most people get. A lot of people struggle to have one parent that has this much love, but to know that there are 4 in this that just care about everything about him.
I agree, kind of the same thing, that he always knows that this was not something that, you know, he wasn't unwanted or anything like that, that he was loved, that it was a very selfless thing that they did. And to also to hear from them the reason behind it, because like we can tell him, but I think it's very important like to hear it from them too, because I think it just means like that little bit, it makes a difference to hear it from the birth parents versus hearing it from us.
So the first time he says to you, and I guarantee he will say it, "You're not my real mom." How are you going to feel?
Oh, that was something that I actually wrestled with a little bit when we were going down the adoption route, because that was something, it wasn't something that you think matters a lot, but then when you're actually faced with the reality of not having that biological tie to your child, it was something that I didn't think was like very important, or that I put up as like, you know, this, you know, it's this or nothing. But when I realized it wasn't gonna end up that way, it really kind of like, it mattered more than I thought it would, and I did grieve it a little bit. And I think it's one of those things that kids say when they're upset. You know, they say all kinds of things. I've had kids tell me I'm mean and I'm horrible and that they wish horrible things to happen to me. So I feel like it's one of those things that you just say out of anger, you know, no different than like if a parent, you know, a child has lost a parent and they say, well, I wish you were the one that wasn't here anymore. Or I wish my, you know, parent that had passed was still here instead of you. So I think it's the kind of default thing. And I know it's not going to be something that he says.
And now he says, I want to go to my real mom. How would you feel if, in fact, he was serious about it and it wasn't something he was just saying? How would you feel about that?
I think it'd be hurtful, but I think, again, like in the moment of that anger, that's just something that you're saying or thinking. I hope that he has like a good enough relationship on his own with Kaylee and Elijah that he recognizes, you know, that this is, you know, I do have those connections. I can talk to them. I can express my anger and they can, you know, help guide him through, and we all kind of like guide him through something like that where he's really, you know, and if it's something where he needs to talk about it just with them and he doesn't want us to be a part of the conversation, then I think I hope that we get to a point where we're like, yep, that's fine. If you just want to talk to them and you don't want to tell us what you said to them, that's totally fine.
I would love to be little spies.
Say
Like,
that again. Sit forward so we can hear you.
I would love to be like spies, kind of like help guide you guys if he only feels comfortable talking to us, or vice versa. Like if he only feels comfortable talking to you guys and doesn't want to like feel shy to us. I would love to, just look forward to it.
Now, these real questions, I mean, he's going to say things like that when he's 3, 4, 5, and 7, and 8. But when it really starts to mean something, will be in his teenage years. And then those questions really will be. They're real, even in the early years, but to actually want to do something about it will come later on. And how old will you guys be?
When he's a teenager, or
Mm-hmm.
let's see, probably mid-30s, maybe.
Yeah.
So now you're in your mid-30s, and they contact you and say he's struggling. Can you talk with him? How do you think he'll feel?
I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'll be willing to talk to him, help him guide through those feelings, because I've definitely felt this way with my parents before.
Yeah. I want him to have as many people as he wants. I want him to feel as comfortable with whoever he needs.
So in working in adoption for this many years, we have learned that you guys have very unique struggles that you go through. You have very unique struggles you go through, and thank you for sharing some of those. Yeah. He's going to have unique struggles that he's going to go through. And ultimately, we're learning that the best way to kind of help each party get through those struggles is to be honest about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And share those thoughts.
Yeah.
Especially him. As he experiences, who am I? What is my identity? How do I fit in this world? When there is this type of a relationship open, even though distant, it gives those additional resources to help him move through those. You feel good about that?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts you'd like to share? Anybody that might be watching this?
It's scary, and it doesn't stop being scary, but it is probably the best feeling in the world to be able to see it happen. And one of our biggest fears was we'd never get here. We had been trying for so long, and we were like, we don't even know if this is even possible. That's why Cassie was saying that it doesn't feel real. But keep going. If you are trying to adopt and trying to grow your family, keep trying, because it is worth it. He has been worth it.
One of the things that I learned in one of my fertility support groups, one of the things that a question that comes up is like, how do I know that I'm done? Like, I'm so frustrated, I'm so upset with whatever path like they're trying to choose. And one of the things that the leader says, the support group leader says, is she's like, when you're done. She's like, she's like, you don't ask, am I done? You say, I'm done. And you just know. And there were so many times where we've asked each other, are we done? And I've just repeated that to myself. I'm like, if we're asking, then we're not done. And that's where, you definitely feel the frustration the whole time, during the wait and everything, because there's not a whole lot you can do once you've kind of done the profile and done the home study, like you've done all your things. So I think the biggest thing is hanging on to that. Are you done? And when you're not,
clearly you were not.
No.
And now here we are.
Yep. Right where we were meant to be, I think.
What advice would you get?
I would say just to make sure that you're very sure of the family you pick, because the pain will never go away. And, sometimes you will feel like that's the wrong decision, or, you'll never be like 100% sure, if this is the right thing. But to definitely not base it on emotions and base it all on reality and if it's the best thing for you.
I think finding the right adoptive parents is like the best part, because really helps strengthen that relationship. It makes you feel more content, more okay with how sad you're feeling, gives you like
Peace of mind.
yeah, peace of mind. I want to stay alive, Yeah.
And Seth, do you have anything you'd like to share?
He's been sharing a little bit throughout.
I kind of heard some of those.
Heard that at the beginning.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you so much for this visit.
Thank you.
Thank you for being part of Choosing Adoption. I'm Donna Pope. You and your story matter. Visit choosingadoption.com to find resources, community, and encouragement for your unique journey. You are not alone. We are in this with you.